Meanwhile, at Castrum Lacros Latoir, I am tired of sitting about with our thumbs up our asses. Why wait for reinforcements when we can wipe out the Bozjan resistance off the board in one fell swoop? Even with just the troops stationed here at the Castrum, they wouldn't stand a chance. You have already demonstrated gross insubordination by leading charge into the field against orders. Soldiers had been court-martialed far less, as such behavior ill-fits one of your station. I need not remind you that our true objective is the subjugation of Damaska and the seizure of its resources, not to engage in petty skirmishes with these Bozjan curs. They will be dealt in due course, but only once the Damaskians' resistance has been eliminated. Who do you think you're talking to, boy? I know full well we don't need to bring Damask to heel, and I said from the beginning that invading Bozja was a waste of time. The sooner we get this over with, the better. A waste of time? Yet who it was in front of the center during the invasion? I hope you've not forgotten the soldiers you sacrificed for the sake of this waste of time. Retaining our foothold here is essential to our plans. Now that Dom and Alamigo have reclaimed their independence, the Bozjans has been inspired to follow suit. Should they succeed, the Damaskians will be next. We cannot hope to withstand a united resistance from all sides. Don't waste your breath, Alabedo. The only thing this rabid dogs understand is bloodshed. Watch your tongue, or it'll be your blood that will be shred next. Snarl at me all you like, but there's no escaping the truth. The Empire is doomed to fall, and before long, the 6th Legion will have no home to return to. Your point being, if Gabranth is to build this new nation, we have to regain control of these provinces. Well, you know our dear boy know better than most, and I'm sure you've made plans for your own for this new nation he's building. I don't appreciate your tone. Are you implying that I would betray his trust? Then again, honestly, I'd not be surprised about any other betrayals at this point. Oh, would you stop? If anyone hates this pandemic pageantry more than me, it's you. Perhaps, but so long as I have the hand to play, am I wrong to keep it? That's the way of it, eh? Fine. Stay here and watch your schemes. My place is on the battlefield. Very well, if it is your wish, but when the dust settles and the judgment bell tolls, I pray you be ready to answer for your transgressions. It's like, that's if the bell tolls for me. Are you certain this is wise? A dog may he be, but he is not without his uses. I dare say there is no more loyal to Gabranth than the 6th Legion. What's more, he is not so foolish as to seek out the false glory of a honorable death in battle. He and his beasts should prove an adequate distraction for our enemies. In the meantime, I leave the Castrum in your hands. Should the Bozjans advance this far, I trust you will not disappoint me. By your leave. Man, I really wish we can see Gabranth in all this. Hopefully. Alright, let's talk with Bozjan again. Our scouts have yet to find any trace of Mikoto, but our promise will bring her back safely. For now, let's focus our efforts in retaking the castrum. Okay. Nice. And the next one is picking up the trail. Listen, Notarius, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I think I know how to find Mikoto. And that is? You said Meteor waited until after the crystal focus had absorbed Aether from air before making off with it and Mikoto, right? Well, if we can use this equipment to trace the interior signature of the charged focus, crystal focus, maybe it will lead us to Mikoto too. That is assuming, of course, they've been kept in the same place. We're going to want to cover the entire southern front, and for that, at least 2 more sensors need to be set up there. Think you're up to it? Oh, hell yes, I am. I found 2 spots that should give us the maximum coverage. Here, let's mark them on your map. I know it's a long shot, but we have to try, right? Well, we have to try. Okay, there's one way over there and one over there, so let us traverse there and then slice it. There it is. And just place this thing over here. Alright, got it placed. Waiting your instructions. All set? Then let's start the remote scanner. Well, how's it going? That should do it. One more and with any luck, we can track down the crystal focus and Mikoto. Okay, so we need to go all the way up there. Thank God I can just teleport up there. Oh wait, did I even... I don't think I registered the crystal there. Poop. Look like I have to walk all the way up there again. Okay, here we are. Oh, I have mapped the entire area right? That was quick. I was really thinking that it would take longer than that to map the whole area. Overdone here. All set, then let's start up the remote scanner. Well, any signs? Perfect! Come back to the base and I'll see if we can get to track down the crystal focus. Nice. And let's head back to base. At least I have every Aetherite crystal now. Thank God. Ah! You're back! Trouble tracking down the crystal focus? What's wrong? Doing another sensor? Honestly, I'll probably go with the first one. Tracking down the crystal focus? No, trouble tracking it down. No, everything went according to plan. I managed to locate the crystal focus, but something's wrong? The thing is, it is as we feared. The crystal focus is being held at the Castium. Makes sense when you think about it. What's within being the enemy's main stronghold and all. Sorry if you're wasting your time out there, Artorias. Honestly, it's not really a waste of time, at least we know where she is at the most part. Water. Nonsense, Lydia! For all we knew, this focus could be very well been moved to the Maska. But thanks to you and Blade Pendragon, we have removed all doubts as to its whereabouts. That's true, I suppose. The reason for Mage's betrayal eludes us, but the Garleans are not like to understand how to make use of the crystal focus. Not without assistance. Meaning, Makoto is all likelihood being held at the Castium as well. Well, makes sense. Why kill the person that knows how to work the device? Then, there is still a chance to save her. Meanwhile, at Castium Laboratoire. Yes! Over there. Mija? Where? You're going to answer a few questions for me. We can start on how you were able to glimpse into the future. Mija? Why are you helping the Empire? I'm the one asking the questions here. Now, answer! No, not until you tell me why. I don't think you understand your situation here, or you're truly that naive. Is it for power? Renown? Have you always been on their side? I know you, Mija. You're a woman of conviction, and you wouldn't do something like this without good reason. If you know me as well as you can say, I would hazard to you already have the answer. You would truly place your fate in Nova van Gabranth? I read about him and his father, the famed knight of the Republic of Landis. They say he was a man of vision. Gabranth. He was made Legatus of the 4th Imperial Legion, and from what intelligence I could gather, he pays no heed to the race, parentage, or creed of his followers. And that same imperial judgment extends to the province under his control, if I'm not mistaken. Heavens for those seeking a life free from prejudice and hate. But do you truly believe equality can be formed under imperial standards? My! The dutiful bookworm can read between the lines? Perhaps I gave you a little too credit. I can but pose theories and conjectures, for I will never truly know of the indignity your family suffered. Nor can I say on the alarming disparity between the nobles and commoners, even before Bozja succumbed to the imperial rule. As I understand, it was a country where the needs of the few outweighed those of the many. The wealthy were free to forge their own futures, while the poor were free only to die should they fall in their daily struggle to survive. And even if some few nobles were opposed to the notion of being governed by an oligarchy, their peers would never relinquish their power and wealth for the greater good. While the Bozja is no more, I realize there are those among the resistance who yearns for the hearten days of their forebears, who will judge you based on your lineage rather than the contents of your character. Their voices are but echoes of the reprehensible past. You should understand better than anyone the future Bozjan and the Marsak means to build, a way forward paved with dignity and equality. Times change, Bozja. People change. Words cut deep in her heart. No, people don't change. They're only fools themselves in believing they can. I was ridiculed, marginalized, treated like an otter. By the means virtue of being highborn, there was the righteous path. Mine, the immortal. Bozjan and Musculus claim they want to put an end to the discrimination, but there is no escaping their true nature. Their hatred must be driven out with force. Would you put your faith in them being such a terrible thing? Oh, if you knew the depths of their malice, their treachery. Perhaps I would tell you the tragedy of Queen Gunnhildr and the great betrayal of her followers. I'm sure you heard the legend of Save the Queen. Yes. The blessed blade that can only be wielded by the Queen Gunnhildr. Yes, I heard the tales. When her kingdom came under attack during the Fourth Astral Calamity, she brought the full might of the blade to bear to save her people, and in so doing, gave her own life. A bittersweet end to her reign, but I fail to see what has to do with anything. Before the Fourth Astral Calamity, Gunnhildr's blades foresaw their coming doom. As the kingdom's acting political body, they saw it as their duty to save their people at any cost, and so devised a plan to save Bozja using the power of the Holy Blade. If they're doing that, I'm pretty sure the Queen wasn't inclined to do so. The Queen's body would serve as the conduit for the Blade's power, allowing them to summon a god. You don't mean they summon a primal? A primal summoning, yes. Though perhaps it would be more fitting to call it an econ. The blade was, after all, originally a relic stolen for the Anagans. Econ? Heavens forbid! There was one problem, however. The Queen knew that once she took in the power of this god, there would be no turning back. She was a coward, and despite her duties to protect the people, she chose her own life over theirs. Yet, Gunnhildr's blades would not see their efforts come to naught, for they soon realized the sacrifice needed to be the princely reigned queen, nor did they need to be of noble blood. As so a lowborn shrine maiden was chosen to ascend the throne, obedient to the fault, she did not hesitate to give her life to foretold the coming calamity. Would this tragic tale end there, but I'm afraid it takes a rather bloody turn. You see, despite sacrificing herself to save Bozja, the new queen did not die, nor she was consumed by the Ekon's power. There was a woman of Ishgard, Yusileo, capable of such feat, but to embrace the power of the Ekon and retain her sense of self, that would mean this queen possessed the Echo. Interesting. And her power struck fear into the hearts of the Gunnhildr's blades, for a god now walked among them. But rather than the puppet the blade had wished for, she was pure and free, and for that, she was slain. The blades could not, risk her discovering the truth of her accession, that she was but a sacrificial lamb to save their kingdom's brethren. They claimed the queen had gone mad, drunk with the god's power, leaving them no choice but to slay her. She has then buried along with the blade and the truth. Where did you hear this? Good question. How do you know all this unless you're a descendant from those knights? Let's just say it's a bit of a family history. Yeah, she's a descendant from the Gunnhildr's blades. Now, answer my question. How are you able to see the future? I don't know. I've never been able to see it on my own volition. I suppose it doesn't matter. We'll drag it out of you soon enough. Oh boy. This is not good. Oh, Mikoto, we're gonna come for you. Just you wait. Okay. Just think about what they might do to Mikoto. Please, you have to save her. Save her we shall. Okay, so with that being said, I guess I end this recording because after going here, checking this guy, I need to be rank 10 before I can do this. So it's not that bad. My mental is not that far off before I get there. And of course, I won't be able to continue farming now because at 6 o'clock the maintenance is going to happen for 14. So I have to come back later doing that. But regardless, I'm liking the story, and it also gives a lot of flashback to Gabranth and his brother, well, other brother in the poor shit, which took his place after he died in 12, which is spoilers unless people have seen that. So yeah, I'm really liking the lore or story for this instance for the weapons. I really wish they did that for the anime weapon, because the anime weapon wasn't really like a big lore story, it's more like helping out people and whatnot. So I'm really liking how they expanded the story for this relic weapons in this expansion. So, final thoughts before we head off here is that we need to grind up more resistance points, and in doing so, gain access to the next quest, and saving Mikoto before she gets dissected, maybe. I don't think that would be the case, but hopefully not. But regardless, this has been Raven State 45. Keep gaming, everyone, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.